I think it makes you a much better critical thinker and critical reader. I remember the first few political science classes I took before taking any quantitative methods. I would get the paper I was assigned and I would read through it, and then I would skip over all of the quantitative sections and finish it and think, wow, that's a pretty good argument. But then I would get to the next paper and it would criticize the first one, saying, no, it's not a good argument at all because of these statistical reasons. And I didn't understand it all. And I realized that without taking some quantitative methods courses, I would never really be able to evaluate arguments on anything other than how intuitive they seemed or how useful they seemed to me with no context. I think it's made me a more critical reader of news articles in particular. I remember seeing some funny news articles about people with dogs tend to live longer, so you should go out and adopt a dog and you'll live longer. And now, of course, that's not true. And even with much more complicated examples than that, analyzing different policy suggestions and things like that, looking at questions of what good policies might be and what bad ones might be and which ones have no effect at all, it's really been able to help me. It's very satisfying to be able to figure out, I can take this data, type in a couple of commands, and then get really useful results that I never would have even understood before, and now I can produce them and interpret them myself, and even criticize the work of published authors. It's a really huge stepping stone from being just another student to being on some sort of a level, at least in your understanding of how things ought to work, with published scholars.